Hey, what's up, you guys? It's your girl JoJo, and I'm here with the review for Love and Marriage Huntsville Season 2. No, I don't know the episode number. Y'all, I'm laughing because I feel big on this camera today. I feel like I'm looking big and bloated, got a little bit of the arm fat, which I'm actually glad to see because I've been working on my arms, and this just lets me know that I need to work harder. So I'm glad I saw it. But I just feel big today. I don't know. I'm uncomfortable. But I hope you all are doing well. I am a little bit under the weather, so if you hear a sneeze or a cough, just excuse me in advance. I'm trying to get right. Been trying to nurse myself back to health. It would be great if I could edit, because if I could edit out every sneeze, every cough, every ramble like I'm doing right now. But I'm going to quit feeling sorry for myself, y'all. I just know that my videos were a lot better when I could edit and really spend time on the quality of what I was putting forth. But I'm gonna get back right. I'm gonna set some goals and make them smart and specific and all of that, so I can get me a new laptop and get back to producing some better quality videos. But thank y'all for listening to me ramble. Now we're gonna talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville. So let me look at my notes. I used to edit this part out, by the way. I can't do it no more. So. Oh, good times, good times. Can y'all hear me? Turn the microphone up. Okay. So, Marceau sneaks by Melody's office. And the reason why I'm using the word sneak is because Marceau knew what he was doing. He knew that Martell wasn't going to be there. Talking about, I wish Martell was here. I wanted to talk to y'all together. We know from the first season that Marceau doesn't spend the amount of time in the office that Melody does. I think everybody knows that. So I think he knew Martell wasn't going to be there, and I think he knew that him and Melody were going to be able to have a more level-headed conversation without him there, just like they have a level-headed conversation when Tisha's not there, and that Melody is prone to spilling her own tea and telling her business. So he knew what he was doing when he went over there. He goes over there and says that they had the cabin trip, but seems like things aren't really where they need to be. I want to see what we're going to do moving forward as far as moving around each other. And Melody says she thinks they're going to be fine moving around each other. It's just not going to be the way that things used to be. When it comes to Tisha, it's not that I don't want a relationship with her, but I've told her I don't know if she's being genuine. And for me, actions speak louder than words. Marceau does agree with that sentiment, but he feels like when it comes to marriages, the Scotts have always been in the Holtz corner. Now, I'm not sure what Marceau is talking about. I'm glad Melody gave him the side eye because we also gave him the side eye. We watched last season. You and Tisha took digs at Martell and Melody whenever you could, however you could. You guys were laughing at the fact that they were having problems in their marriage. It is what it is. Like, just own it. Just say that you did it because we all saw it. Now, I don't know if you all have a different type of history. Maybe there's some bad blood there, but we, the viewers, saw you laughing and making remarks about their marriage and seeming to giggle about it. That's what we saw. Melody tells him, I don't know if I really believe that, but okay, whatever you say. And Melody feels like if you really felt like you wanted my marriage to survive, then you would have been trying to influence Martell. You would have been trying to have conversations with him. You would have been trying to get him on the right path. Now, Melody, this is where I have a problem with you. We have told you time and time again, I don't care if Martell was hanging out with every philanderer, all the TIs and, the Snoop Dogs and all the other men who have messed around on their wives historically in the past. That has nothing to do with the legs that your husband decided to fall into. That was his decision. That was on him. He did it on his own. Martell seems like he is a leader in every other sense of the word. Seems like he will branch out and do stuff on his own any other time. So him cheating is no different. Stop trying to put it on everybody else that your man did what he did. Okay? So Marceau responds and says, I did have conversations with him. I talked to him about old girl and I talked to him about this and that. And Melody said, yeah, but if you're talking to him, but then at the same time, he's looking at your actions and then looking at the things that you say, it's kind of like, so again, it's back out on the table that Marceau has been cheating, that Marceau was doing one thing but saying another. And instead of saying, Melody, that's absolutely not true. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not sure what Martell told you. I'm not sure what you think you heard or thought you heard, but none of that is true. This is what Marceau does instead. well, okay, the conversations that we had were effective. I said, Marceau, why are you doing this? I'm being serious. Why are you doing this? Why are you coming in trying to speak on anybody else's marriage when you know there is something that is not right? That's why Marceau's wedding ring is black. It's his soul. Cause he around here telling these stories. I was just like, Marceau, why did you even come up here and talk to this woman? So again, he skims right on past it, says that they had effective conversation. Melody says, no, you didn't have effective conversation because the girl was still calling the phone. Now, I thought everybody knew that, but apparently Marceau didn't know. So Marceau was just like, are you serious? And Melody said, yeah, I'm serious. So whatever conversations you think you had, you didn't have, and they didn't work. And again, Marceau still got that same smirk on his face. He's smiling. Melody smiling and smirking and kind of looking like, I just spilled my own tea. It was just weird. The whole conversation was weird. But once again, this is going to be something that Marceau is going to use, and he's going to talk about y'all's marriage once again. So I don't know why she gave him that tea, but whatever. Then Marceau makes a statement that I had to put down in all caps. My ultimate commitment is to my marriage, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes, even if it means assisting the Holts in their marriage. Why? Why do you need to assist the Holts in their marriage if your marriage is your ultimate commitment? If your ultimate commitment is to your marriage, then worry about your marriage and worry about the fact that your wife doesn't feel secure, and she doesn't feel secure because you're lying to her. There is something going on in the midst of y'all's relationship that y'all need to address with each other, and y'all don't need to address it with nobody else. If you guys are going to be in a relationship, friendship with the Holts, y'all need to say, look, this is what happened. This is what y'all referring to. I would appreciate it if we don't bring it up no more, and I ain't going to bring y'all marriage up no more. And let's leave it at that. But all this, innuendo, I didn't do nothing, but maybe I did do something, and we ain't talking about me, we talking about y'all. It just needs to stop. If your commitment is to your marriage, then let it be to your marriage. Don't assist nobody else with their marriage. They don't need your advice. You need your own advice. Moving on. Melody goes to the doctor. I want to take it there first. Melody goes over to the doctor, and she tells Martell she thinks she's a little over 3 months. And Martell says, oh, so you halfway there. I said, he's stupid. He's so stupid. If somebody is a little bit over 3 months, they are not at the halfway mark. And Melody was just like, no, I'm not. No, I'm about a third of the way there. Stupid. So she goes to take the ultrasound, and while most mothers are like, oh my gosh, my baby's heartbeat, Mel is laying there like this. She is so unbothered, so uninterested. Martell is excited, and y'all know why he excited, because now he got her right where he want her. She's pregnant. She feel like she can't leave. But Melody's talking like she still want to leave, y'all. This is not what I want for my child, and this is not the situation I want my baby to be born in. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do. Martell wants to raise all the kids together in the same house. It's the same old, same old. And it doesn't even matter because they're going to end up together. Melody ain't going nowhere. We all know this. But she gonna act like she going somewhere. I thought actions spoke louder than words, Mel. I ain't saying I want you to leave your husband. I don't. But I'm just saying, you up here talking a good game, but you knew you wasn't going anywhere. Even when she tells her mother gives her a story about how it's not always the right time for certain things. But how does she explain it? Even when it doesn't seem like it's the right time, it could be the right time. And she's telling Melody how she got pregnant in college. She wasn't married. The father of Melody gave the money for her to have an abortion, which is what she thought she wanted to do. It turns out she did not do that. She had Melody, and it worked out great. I thought the story was good. It wasn't a bad example, but for some reason, the placing of it was off, because it's not that Melody is contemplating not keeping her baby. It's the fact that she's contemplating not keeping her husband in regards to that baby. So, but the timing thing that made sense to me. So Melody has a lot on her mind, trying to figure out what she's going to do in regards to her and Martell. Getting on to I want to go to Tisha because I just want to get her out the way. Tisha actually does admit to us that she has been looking into seeing a speech pathologist because she has a lot of issues with vowels and certain sounds and certain words, and kudos to her. I think that is a really big deal, and I think it's very big of her to admit that on camera. I'm sure people have been saying stuff, including me. I'm wrong. But I have my own speech problems too, Tisha. I also talk with my tongue. It's not as bad as it used to be, but it's still there. And Tisha suffers from her tongue is lazy. Like just certain words that she says is a little lazy. So she's going to be working on that, raised with her grandmother and older aunties. They didn't have good diction. Her mother didn't always have good diction. And so now she wants to get to the point where she's not scared to speak out and not scared to public speak and not deal with issues of her childhood that she had going on. And that's when her mother reveals to her that she also went through speech pathology until she was in middle school, trying to get her words right and trying to get her speech pattern right. Her mother had her when she was 16 years old, which I did not know, but that explains why her mom doesn't look like super young, but her mom looks younger and not a hair out of place. Girl, Tisha, you need to get with your mama because that hair be laid. It don't be no peasy edges. It don't be no flyaways. Girl, get with your mama because that hair be right. But get back on subject. I like the fact that her mother revealed to her her struggles and her problems. I did not like the fact that neither Melody nor Tisha knew the things that their mother had experienced. And this just goes to show a big problem amongst the Black community and especially with mother and daughters in general. I won't even say in the Black community, but just mothers and daughters. We need to talk to each other. We need to tell each other things. We need to express ourselves to one another. We need to tell our history because in telling our history, we can save our daughters or our sons from things that we've went through. I thought it was interesting that these were grown women who did not know what their mothers had experienced. They talk about that a lot on the Yanla, generational curses, telling your children who you are. And I think the best lesson that we've learned is by watching Power, because y'all see what happened when you don't tell your kids who you are. You mess around and have one of them wanting to be a drug dealer and one of them dead. So we got to be telling these children what we've gone through and what we've experienced and tell them while they're younger, not when they become grown adults and they're already in the eye of the storm, like Tisha is with her speech and Melody is with her marriage and her situation. So yeah, I thought that was interesting. What did y'all think about that? But anyway, Marceau is sick of Tisha's mama. He wants to know why is she even there? Because he is tired of her getting, basically, Marceau is tired of Tisha's mama asking the questions that Tisha need to be asking. And y'all see next week, she gonna be getting on Marceau about these 20 girlfriends. So I'm here for it. I'm here for Tisha's mama, and I hope she have an updo when she do it. But she asked Marceau, what's the difference between a father? What's the difference between a father and a daddy? Because while we were sitting here talking, you could have went upstairs as a father and checked on your children. Marceau, he wasn't trying to do that. He was trying to relax. And that's why he wants Tisha mama gone, because he's tired of people pointing out the obvious when it comes to his lack of parenting behavior. So he's ready for her to go. So we'll talk about that a little bit more next week. Now, I'll throw it at you. Okay. I guess now we can move on to Kimmy. Yeah. Okay, let's move on to Kimmy. Now, Kimmy is talking to her son. I hate those earrings. I hate those yellow stripe earrings. Kimmy, girl, get rid of them. But she is talking to her son, and he is home for the summer. He's going to work with Marceau at his company again this summer, which is great. I'm glad he comes home for the summer because, child, I didn't come home no more summers after that first one. Doing a lot. I didn't come home no more summers after that first one, but he came home for the summer, visiting with his mama, Kimmy is telling him the situation between Maurice and Monster and Kiowa. They might be moving out here. Jalen is not here for it. He was just like, moving out here for what? And Kimmy said, well, I'm trying to be on board. He wants to be with his son, so I'm just trying to get with it. I'm trying to get there as much as possible. And Jalen is just like, well, I'm not really feeling that idea, but hey, I guess mama gonna do what mama gonna do. Later on, we see the meeting between Kimmy, Kiowa, and Maurice. Now, the first problem I had with this meeting is that Kiowa's husband wasn't there. Now, I don't know the reason why he wasn't there. I don't know the reason why he wasn't able to make it, but I feel like her husband should have been there, and I would have been very hesitant to take a meeting with the two of them without my husband being there. That's just me. We are discussing a situation that's going to affect us. We are discussing moving to another state. That's a big deal. I am here with these two people. If there is an argument that breaks out, I don't want it to feel like it's 2-on-1. My husband needs to be here with me. I don't know if I would have came if he couldn't come, but that's just me. I just thought that was interesting. Okay, just pointing out some stuff. Let's move on. So the second problem is when Kiowa sits down, Kimmy says hello. You know, Maurice says Kimmy, Kiowa, Kiowa, Kimmy. I heard Kimmy say hello. Kiowa didn't say anything back. Now, I don't know if they edited it that way, but I'm just saying Kiowa was just like. So then they start having a conversation. Now, I wanted the conversation to kind of start out talking about, we want to do what's best for Monster. What are your reservations about Monster moving out here so that we can address them together? Well, that's not really where it started. Where it started was with them addressing the fact that neither of them really seemed to like or have much of a relationship or much respect for each other. Kiowa says, I don't have a relationship with Kimmy. And Kimmy says, well, I felt like you didn't really care for me from the very beginning. And Kiowa wants to know where she got that. So Kimmy begins telling her about a Facebook message that was sent. The Facebook message basically said, if you have anything that you need to say to me, don't address it to my son. You need to address it directly to me. She says that, what else did she say? Don't say anything to my child. Don't talk to my child. You don't need to be around my child. So those type of sentiments. This was 7 years ago or 6 years ago, something like that. A whole long time ago. Kiowa has a lot going on. She don't recall. She don't remember saying that. Then there were other instances where she texted Maurice and said that Kimmy was a thought and walking around in some type of bikini. Now, this part right here just all goes to what type of mom you are. Me personally, do I think a thong bikini around a young child is appropriate? No. Okay, no. And the only reason is because that's not your, like, it's one thing if your son, like a lot of people, a lot of moms, y'all know men out there, some of y'all mamas are still walking around the house in they bra and a pair of pants because they your mama and they don't really care what you got going on. And they your mama, so you don't look at them no kind of way. You used to seeing them that way. Well, Monster is not her biological son, and he's a young boy. Like, I don't want this to sound wrong, you guys, but y'all know how some younger guys, young boys around that age could be, and you're not their mom, you know, so they might be looking at you some type of way. Like, even if, I can give you a perfect example. Like, sometimes my little brother's friends would come over when they were in middle school and they'd be like, dang, you know, your mama look good or something like that. And my brother would be like, no, she don't, because that's his mama. But y'all get what I'm saying? Like, kind of, I'm trying not to like outright be like overtly disgusting, but I'm just saying maybe not the best around my stepchild. I don't know if I would be walking around with a thong bikini on, but I would wear a bathing suit. I would wear a bikini, and I wouldn't feel no type of way about it. You know, that's not a big deal. But Kiowa felt some type of way. She could have just said, I don't think that what you did was appropriate. Like Kimmy told her, saying it's not appropriate is one thing, calling me a thought is another. And I don't know if you think that when you tell my husband something, he's not going to tell me, but he does. So really, I don't feel like anything got 100% resolved with them. However, what I do know about women is that sometimes we can team up together on the problem that we have specifically with the man. And where I think the two of them are going to team up is when Kimmy said, well, when it comes to Monster moving out here, my reservation was never that I didn't want him here or that I didn't want to be a stepmother to him. My reservation was with him. He was my problem. So Maurice is just kind of like, oh shoot, they about to gang up on me. And Kiowa kind of had that look like, okay, now we speak in the same language. So that's when Kimmy goes into Maurice not really helping her when the summers happen and him wanting to stay out late and do his own thing, and she wasn't having that. And Maurice is just kind of looking shocked, like him and Kimmy never had this conversation before. I said, Maurice, if you don't cut it out. So if for no other reason, I think the two of them will be able to get along because maybe they had the same problems out of Maurice. I don't really know, but it seemed like Kiowa kind of she was still mad. Like, she still don't like her, but she kind of got better with it once Kimmy stated her case that the issue was with Maurice. And I also noticed, now this is no big deal, but I think you have to be very careful with a person who laughs like a ventriloquist dummy. Every time Kiowa chuckled, her mouth didn't move. She would just be like, I got a whole bunch going on, so I don't really remember that. I said, what is going on? I said, you know what? This girl is doing full laughter without even opening her mouth. I can't even do it because when I laugh, my mouth moves. So we got to keep our eye on that. But yeah, I don't think the situation is resolved. I don't believe the two of them will ever truly get along. I actually felt like Kiowa took a little bit of pleasure in knowing that Kimmy was upset with Maurice. It seemed like she had a little smirk on her face. But knowing that Kimmy was a little upset with Maurice, I think she's enjoying the fact that she is making Maurice and Kimmy uncomfortable. I believe that she is going to enjoy moving to Huntsville because it is going to disrupt their relationship in some type of way. She said that when Kimmy and Maurice met, they were not all the way divorced, which Kimmy, girl, you skimmed over that. What happened? What happened? She said that they were just friends and they did not start dating, but if call a thing a thing now. If y'all was already kicking it, going on a few dates, it's okay. Just admit that you did it, girl. I ain't gonna look at you different, but I'm just saying, you gotta own what you did. But she claims they was just friends. I'm sure they were friends with some type of attraction to one another. But I'm guessing the marriage was over. They were probably legally separated on the way to divorce when the two of them met. But yeah, child, that's why I say sign them papers before you get with me, because I don't want to be in the mix of that. What did y'all think about Kiowa? Do you believe that Kiowa is bitter? Do you believe that Kiowa is still upset? I do believe that something is up with Kiowa showing up and being comfortable showing up without her husband. And maybe her husband didn't want to film, but something not right about that. Just something that's not right. But I'm going to tell you what's going to be real interesting is finding out next week that Monster don't even want to go out there to Huntsville. So now I'm wondering what's really good. Like, why is she so willing to move out here if Monster don't even want to come? So we're going to find out about that next week. And lastly, Jalen's birthday party. What was the age range of the people there? Was it like 21 to 50? The club had some old heads there, but then it was some young people there. But anyway, Jalen's turning 21. He wants to hang out with the guys. So Martel's there, Maurice is there, Sadaric is there, Marceau is there. And they all turning up, having a good time. The bros, the bro code. And they keep asking Martel, when's your curfew? When's your curfew? Let's call Mel. Let's see when your curfew is. Let's do this. Let's do that. What else happens? Oh, yeah. They're giving Jalen advice on just being a man and things he can do. Maurice is telling him, you can always come to us. Martel is telling him, just watch your influence and watch the people that you're around. And Marceau says, watch the people you're around, including the women that you deal with and the things that you do. And then once you have 2 or 3 kids, go ahead and snip. I said, he sounds like people I know. Look, don't once you got them 2 or 3, they all expensive. So just go ahead and cut your losses, which is good. I'm glad that there's some men who do think like that, because it's some of them, honey, they just want to be out here breeding. Can't even do nothing for these children. Just anyway, I'm off. So he said, ain't that right, Martell? Martell said, no, I want a couple of more. I want 5 kids. And Marceau said, you want more kids? Well, I'm going to tell you what, you can't have no more kids from 2 different rooms. So then everybody gets a good laugh off of that. And I said, see, that's what got you. That's what got you told on. That's what got you told on, Marceau. But Martell doesn't think it's funny. As a matter of fact, let me slide on out of here because it's my curfew. And Marceau comes out there, of course, trying to see what's going on, being messy, already done dug enough holes for himself. And so he asks Martell, he says, I talked to Melody. She told me that the girl had called the phone. And once again, Martell is upset because Melody does really need to learn how to keep their business in their household. But you should have kept your penis in our household. Remember that, Martell? But they started talking back and forth, and Marceau is just trying to tell Martell, I want to be there for you. I want to be a support for you. And I'm sorry about everything that's been going on with us. I want you to do the right thing. Do you still have your other phone? He was like, no, I don't still have my other phone. But it's funny to me that you think you want me to do the right thing. But, what was you doing? What about the things that you were doing? Marceau says that those are all allegations. None of it's true. I don't have 20 girlfriends. And did y'all see Martell's face? He was just like, okay. I said, child, this is ridiculous. Again, y'all go ahead and pull out the receipts because I'm sick of Marceau. If y'all got the receipts, just go ahead and pull them out because we sick of them. Anyway, y'all, this review is getting way too long, so I'm going to have to cut it off here. But Marceau is lying. I do know that. Even when he was talking, those are just allegations. That scratch at the back of the head, what did Martin tell us? Bald-headed lie. It's a bald-headed lie. So come with the receipts. Martell, Melody, okay, Malott. I'm going to start putting their name together. Marlody. Y'all come out with the receipts because we want to know. Y'all like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.